guess what? It ain't about just you. But let's take the point you made, since though that's how y'all want to do, make it all about you. If somebody told you to smile and you said you were what, offended?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. You just found it. Intercourse with you. Let's chat.
Welcome to the Intercourse Show. I am your host, Mr. B. In this video, Kevin interviews a young lady who says that she does not like smiling at men because it somehow is too inviting. It makes them feel like they can come talk to her. And she just doesn't feel like everyone should feel like they should come talk to her. This conversation got relatively heated.
My ultimate disagreement is that black women are vulgar, and we come across as like not wanting to have any unity with the black man. We don't want to submit or give a black man any authority in our lives, and we're fighting and challenging the black man constantly. And I don't think that that's necessarily what the real issue is when we come across as being vulgar. In my personal opinion, I've had people tell me that I come across as unapproachable just simply by the way
Hold
that
on,
I
hold on,
look.
hold on. Who are you basing this off of? What the women think or what the men say?
What men say.
Then if you base it off what the men say, you would be in agreement. The men
I don't
say
agree
exactly
that.
what I just said. No, ma'am. The men are unequivocal. The men are saying, this is what you're doing. And what you're basically trying to say is, well, it's a misunderstanding.
I agree. Yes.
No, it's not a misunderstanding. Please explain how it's a misunderstanding when you say, I'm going to whoop your ass as a woman to a man. What's the misunderstanding?
I feel like not necessarily verbally saying that, but I feel like a lot of men just feel that if a woman looks a certain way, or I've had me smile beautiful, and I feel offended when a man tells me to smile because like sometimes I might be in pain or
Hold on,
something.
man. You okay? I'll have the conversation with you, but you're gonna answer when a woman says something. You've heard a woman say something like that. I'm gonna whoop your ass.
Yes.
Okay, what does it mean when she says that? She's not really saying she doesn't mean that.
She means it probably.
Okay, then what's the misunderstanding?
There at that point there is no misunderstanding. I'm just defending my own perspective when I've been told that I'm unapproachable because I come off that way. When sometimes it's just me just having a stale face. And I think that maybe
Hold on.
sometimes it's not that
Okay,
women
you gonna
don't.
make this whole conversation about you?
Yes,
We can't do that because you can justify everything you do.
I can.
Yeah, but guess what? It ain't about just you. But let's take the point you made, since though that's how y'all want to do, make it all about you. If somebody told you to smile and you said you were what, offended?
Yeah.
Why? Why?
Because it's like, why is it such a demand for women to, well, especially for black women to just always look a certain way? Like, why can't we just naturally be whatever we feel?
You got so I want to get this clear. Someone just says, "Hey, smile," and it's offensive to you?
I mean, for the most part, it just comes across as like demanding. And I'm not saying that I
Demanding.
feel, yes.
Huh.
Like, what if
Is
I
it
don't feel like smiling? What if I'm in deep thought? What if I'm listening to something that's
this is what
serious
this
and
is
it's
what
not
this
something
is
I
where
want to
we're at.
smile
This is
about?
where we're at. This is where we're at. We have civilized the world and done such a good job in first world countries to where women, in this case black women, are offended just to be asked to smile. It's offensive.
It doesn't come off as a question of asking or requesting. It's almost a demand. Smile, beautiful. It's like, can I just relax?
Can you relax? And what's your relaxed face look like? Resting bitch face?
Not necessarily, but sometimes it's just
Well,
relaxed.
how about this? How about if no one said a damn thing to you? What if every man just left you the fuck alone? Excuse my French. What if every man just left you alone? What if no black man said anything to you? Just ignored you. Would that be better?
I don't, I'd be really sad, honestly.
Oh, so you want us to engage you the way you want to be engaged, but you don't want to engage us the way we like to be engaged. Makes a whole lot of
So
sense.
men want you to. Did he slap me?
Yes, I slapped you. You want another one? Because
I
only
love you, Kevin.
black women are the only group of women I've ever heard to get offended when someone says smile. You know, I heard a black woman who's a femininity influencer who was talking to black women who said they want to be more feminine, who said they want to get husbands. And this black woman on her Facebook page just went and asked her black clients, her black followers, hey, just smile at every black man you see today. And they tore that woman apart for months. Think about how low of a bar you're talking about. That man didn't ask you to go have sex with him, do any sexual favor, give him some money. He just said smile, and you find it offensive? Huh. Wow.
Kevin,
How
I smile when I
ridiculous
feel
that
like
sounds.
smiling. I smile when I
That's
feel
why I
like
said then men should
I'm
just
in a
leave you
joyous
alone.
mood.
Then men should
Well, I
just
have a man, and I smile at him regularly.
But that's not the point. We're not talking about your man. I said if black men were just to avoid you and leave you alone because they can't predict whether or not what they're going to ask you, which is not an offensive thing. Asking you to smile is nothing to be offended by. So what you're telling black men is because you're going to ask me something that's inoffensive, but I can take offense. Black women, I got to let you know, you guys are the masters at being offended by the inoffensive. So black men, leave women like her alone. When you see her, don't say shit to her. Let her and her man rock out. The rest of y'all, leave her alone. Don't say nothing to her. Don't say hi. Don't say bye. Just let her be.
My man
Because
would
you don't
agree
want
with
to
that.
offend her. You don't want to offend her. You don't want to offend her. You don't want to get in her space. Let her be. There she is. Does that work for you?
I mean, you're not wrong, Kevin. If you was wrong, I would tell you that you're wrong. You're not always wrong. You're wrong about something, but you're not wrong about that. And maybe I guess if black women did smile more, we wouldn't come across as unapproachable. But like I was saying, there are women who just are relaxing and they're not in the mood to smile. They're not in the mood to engage in random men's eye contact and be. I mean, it just doesn't feel necessary to just randomly smile at every man that you see. Doesn't it come off as promiscuous?
This is reflective of the utter lack of respect that many black women have for the overall black male image. Again, I don't hear any other race of women being offended at the notion of being smiling or being friendly to their men.
Granted, but I never hear black men tell white women that.
Because they don't have to. Because they smile.
Suggest why?
They don't have to. They don't have to tell other races women because they're naturally, they smile. You can't make this shit up, man. I mean, I'm struggling to stay on the path because this makes sense to you.
I mean, yes.
So avoid women like this. And if black women don't want anybody to tell you to smile, and you don't want to have to engage somebody in a cordial, friendly, polite way, then by all means, you shouldn't have to. And no one should have to be subjected to possibly offending you. So it would be better for them to err on the side of just don't deal with it. Again, we're talking about somebody just saying, hey, smile. Not, hey, do a sexual act or give me some money. Smile. And then you turn around and say, well, I don't hear them saying it to other races of women. Learn something. Those other
What
races.
am I learning from that though?
How to get a husband and keep one.
So if I'm just like, okay, and so just hear me out. If I'm just having a normal walk through the park and I'm minding my own business, a man's, having a normal walk in the park as well, and he randomly says to me, smile, I should just smile at him?
Well, ma'am, apparently it's happened enough in your life to where this is becoming an issue. Because it can't be just a one-off. Oh, no, hold on. It can't just be a one-off situation. It's enough to where you actually decided to call into a broadcast and make it an issue. So the fact of the matter is you walk around with a resting bitch face. If people continue to do this to you, then maybe you need to take under consideration, this may be the way I'm approaching men. My image I'm carrying in the world to black men is this way.
Angry?
So what you're saying is black men who aren't related to you or you don't have any investment in you can make no demands of you.
I just feel like a man that I don't know, a man that I've never seen before.
So black women like that. So what you need to understand. So a man who does not know you, if he sees you getting fucked up, needs to keep on walking. See, this is why y'all want this group protection. No. Listen very well. This is when y'all talk about you want this group protection. You want a black man to step in. You okay, sis? And this all that kind of stuff. A black man can't even ask you to smile at him for risk of offending you. So, conversely, if there's something happening to you, you need to call your man. And the men you deem necessary enough to do something for. Because just us regular black men who have no investment in, or you have no investment in, we can make no demands of. See, that's the beautiful thing about other races of people. Other races of women of other races, men who they're not fucking can make demands of them. And the men that they're fucking can make demands of them. In the black community, the only people who can ask you something is a man who's doing something for you. Other than that, we can't ask you for nothing. That's why I say we can't ask you for nothing. We don't owe you nothing.
Let me get this straight. Like, I'm just a little confused. Why would I want to give something? I mean, and I know it's very small, it's simple. It's just smile, right? But to me, it comes off as like entertainment. Like I'm just out here being friendly faced with everybody. Like I'm not saying that I shouldn't be polite. I'm not disrespectful, and I know that just being my normal everyday face is, I guess, unapproachable, and that's fine. But you're saying to me that
no, stop right here.
I should
stop
be
right here. Stop right here, ma'am. The only common denominator in all these situations is who? This is why I say y'all need therapy. Because this honestly sounds crazy. We're talking about. It doesn't
sound crazy.
No, it doesn't sound crazy to you because you're the crazy.
I volunteered for this.
We're talking about a simple smile. But the level of irrational. See, this goes deep for black women. When that black woman asked her femininity group to smile at black women, she was surprised at how vicious they treated her. And I'm going to let this play and let people come back and hear. We're talking about just a simple smile, people. Smile. But you act like a smile is busting it wide open. Oh my freaking God. Black men, do you realize this is a black woman who tells you you're not even worth a smile? Unless she feels.
I mean, not every last one of them. And yes, if I feel
okay, ma'am, and I take that. So if you are getting abused, jacked up, whatever, what does the random black man owe you?
Stop slapping me.
What the fuck you think you talking to? Your man sound like he need to slap you.
Why are you promoting violence? No.
Why? What do you think this is? I mean, what? See, when I ask you is what does a random black man owe you if you need something from him? You driving down your tire's flat. You don't know how to change it. Black man driving down the street. Does he owe you to stop over? You ain't his woman. What does he owe you?
Nothing.
Right. And if understand something, if men are looking at our women, and see, the thing is, what you're saying is not uncommon. So honestly, black men look at women who talk like you and feel zero allegiance to you. Feel like they owe you nothing because you want black men to protect and provide and everything else, and you are talking about a freaking smile.
So your suggestion is that I smile more to random people in order to create
my
sort of
suggestion
allegiance?
is my suggestion is psychotherapy, because this is crazy.
Psychotherapy,
man. You said it. You don't see black men asking other groups of women. Do you hear any other race of women talking about this?
It just doesn't happen to them as much as it happens to us.
Because they effing smile.
What if they're not? Like, where's the
all right.
Where's the research?
All right, get off the phone.
Okay, I think that a lot of women do see, because I personally understand that I have a lot of work to do personally, and one thing that I do love and appreciate about you is how you do stress and encourage people in our community to get therapy. But one thing on the other end is just feeling safe. I did not watch your video from last weekend, but I heard you talking about women not smiling at men, which I'm actually in another country right now. And, you know, I'm from California. I feel like Californians just smile a lot, but in certain situations, I specifically will not smile at a man because I do not want him to engage with me because I don't feel safe. Like, I literally carry a pocket knife on me because I've been in situations where men have come up to me assuming that I was a prostitute. Men have come up to me, quartered me in parking lots. I see your face right now, but I mean, I'm just speaking from my personal experience.
Yeah, I am, because I find it interesting. I just left California, and I'm watching women smile all around Beverly Hills. But it seems to be black women seem to, what I hear is you attract an inordinate amount of rapists, stalkers, and men willing to do you harm. So to protect yourself, you walk around strong-faced with mace and a knife. I don't buy it.
You don't buy it.
I've lived in New York because I've lived in some of the most dangerous cities in the world.
When I feel comfortable when I'm out, I will smile at people.
Well,
but if
okay, well then guess what? If it waits for you to feel comfortable, you will be strong-faced and alone. Because the funny thing is, the group of women who are feminine and smile don't tend to have these problems. They tend to have friends around them and support. Y'all walk around isolated. Uh-oh.
No, I mean, listen, I don't understand the statistics on that. I mean, I'm sure you know the statistics around women who have been sexually assaulted.
Okay, ma'am, we're going to talk about the minority. I'm not going to talk about the minority to excuse bad behavior. It's bad behavior. Simply that. It's bad behavior. And it's funny that when non-black, you know what's a video? When non-black men ask black women to smile, there's really not this kind of pushback. It's when black men ask black women to smile. We can make no request of you.
I personally don't.
There's nothing to do with you. This as person, man. We're talking about the group ethnic image.
Yes. Okay, I understand.
When I'm at work, when I'm in the halls of corporate America, and Brad tells Angela to smile, she has no problem flashing those pearlies. But when Damien asks you to smile,
but is this in a corporate setting or a
man, it's world. It's everywhere, man. At what point are you ladies going to start recognizing the problem is you? Black men have to go in. Look at what you were doing. I have to define every scenario, every setting for you to pick apart my issue. Walk around being unfriendly. Walk around without no. But here's the thing: do you want to be married?
I do.
Do you want children?
Yes.
Do you want a black man, or do you care what race he is?
I would prefer to have a black man.
How old are you?
I'm 26.
Right. Where do you think these men are going to be? How many children would you like to have?
Between 1 and 3.
The big number. Which one? 1, 2, or 3?
I mean, 3 is preferred.
And do you want to have to work to pay significant bills after you're pregnant with your first child?
I mean, I plan to continue to work.
Do you want to have to work to pay significant bills after you're pregnant? Whether you plan to work or not, it's not the point. Do you want to have to work?
I would have to work.
Mm-hmm. To pay significant bills.
I mean, I don't
Let me ask you another way. What percentage of the total family financial load do you want to have to be responsible for a lifetime?
50% of the load is fine.
Okay, so that means, listen, before you say that, that means if you don't work, the family's at risk. You're paying 50%. If I got 4 legs on the stool, right? If I cut off 2, I'm at risk.
Right.
You want to be responsible for 50% for a lifetime to 65. That's the math, man. Do you want to have to? What percentage of the family financial load do you want to have to be responsible for a lifetime?
I mean, it's what I'm willing to do. It depends.
I don't want what I said. I want to. What do you want to have to be responsible for? See, what you're willing to do is different. That's why I asked it the way I did.
But I feel that positions.
No. Don't answer my question. Don't tell me what you feel like. Don't tell me what you feel like. Answer the question the way I asked it. Don't reframe it.
Of course, I want my family to be financially secure.
I answered the question the way answer the question the way I answer the question. Out of 100%, what percentage of the family financial load do you want to have to be responsible for a lifetime?
Say 30%.
30%. Why was that so hard for you? Now, if you never get married, right? If you never marry, what percentage of your family, what percentage of your financial load would you have to be responsible for?
100%.
Thank you. See how quick that was?
Yeah. But I feel that women should be prepared to have savings, to have assets, to.
Ma'am, you can feel like whatever you want to, but you can feel like whatever you want to. But when a man comes into the situation, women tend to think money just comes from anywhere. So that 50% number was not true. You don't want to have to be responsible for the mortgage, the lights, the college fund. You want your husband to be responsible for the lion's share of the bills. You may want to contribute, but you don't want to, where if you stop contributing for whatever reason, you don't want the family to be in jeopardy. True or false?
Listen, I want to be in a financial situation to where if my marriage doesn't work out, I'll be fine.
True or false? True or false? True or false?
True. True or false? What?
True or false? Don't see. I asked you a question. You are listening. We're not going to go past it till I get my answer. If you stop contributing, do you want your family to be at risk or in jeopardy? Yes, I do. No, you don't?
No, I do not.
Thank you. So you'll need your husband to bring the lion's share in. That's more than 50%. That's closer to 20%. See, 20%, if you start working, we can still survive. 30%, you can't survive with 30%. Take on 30% like the Titanic, you sink. And my ultimate point is this. 3 kids, California, is that where you say you were?
I'm not
Southern or
currently
northern?
in California. I'm from California. I'm in Mexico, actually.
Okay, southern or northern?
Northern.
Right. How much money would a man need to make to be able to fund a family of 3 children and 2 adults, 5 people in Northern California?
I mean, I have not done the math on that, so I don't want to just guess numbers because I haven't done the math.
Just throw a number out. What do you think?
Independently or with the wife bringing in minimum
Family
20%?
of 5, man. He's having to provide for 80%. How much would he need?
250,000, I would say.
No, man.
But it's it.
No, ma'am. In Dallas, Houston, Atlanta, that's $300,000 a year. 350 actually. Northern California, you're talking close to about 400,000, half a million. And where are we going with all this? The man who's making the kind of money you're talking to be able to pay for 80% of the bills or more. Do you think he's going to want a woman who's not friendly, who's not smiling? Those kind of men get women who are extremely cooperative, feminine, and friendly.
But who's to say if that woman wasn't walking with a man, she wouldn't be friendly or smiling because she feels safe?
You see how she just did that? You see the bullshit
safe.
she just did? You just did some bullshit. You put a woman walking with a man and everything else. This is how far you guys got to go to justify your bad behavior.
No, I don't believe so. I feel if a woman feels safe, when I feel safe, I do not mind. I will smile.
I hope it works for you. Hopefully it works for you.
When I was in Mexico,
hopefully you can find a man, a black man, who is willing to put up with you only smiling when you feel safe. Because this goes deep for you. Because this goes deep for black women. But when you're in Mexico, did you smile or no? In Mexico or New Mexico? Which one?
I'm in Tulum, Mexico. But what I was going to say, I was in the club and I was smiling at women. I was smiling at people. The main woman, well, I was the only black woman in the club. No one was smiling back at me. So those women were not black. Actually, most of the women I've smiled at who didn't smile back were white women.
And that means
so
what?
Maybe the experience is different. Maybe white women love to smile at black men. And not black women. I don't know.
So I want you to be understood. You're talking about black women smiling at black men. You're going to relate it to you in the club smiling at women.
I'm saying that maybe the experience is I'm just talking about from what I've seen. It's not specific to black women. And it depends on the scenario as well. I feel like things are.
How long have you been in Mexico?
A month.
And how long? Woo, Jesus! This is the cognitive dissonance. Listen, we're talking. Just so for those at home, I just gave all these breakdowns, and she gave me an example of her being in a club in Mexico one night, smiling at a group of women. To
it wasn't just the one night.
It don't matter. It's been less than a damn month. And we're going to juxtapose that against a lifetime of lived experience in Northern California with black men. It's irrelevant.
What was that?
It's irrelevant.
It's irrelevant. Well, we can stick to the point. My point is women feeling safe versus not feeling safe. So yes, in the community,
well, I'll tell you what. Here's the thing I would tell you. When you don't smile and he walks out with a white woman, you can not feel safe and by your damn self. Because this is what's happening. This is what's happening. If you only smile when you feel safe, that's up to you. Do what you do. But what I'm telling you is the kind and caliber of black men you want are tired of your poor treatment. That's it. So while you guys are deciding whether or not I feel safe, the barometer, the temperature outside, who shot John, and every other group of women are coming in competing to be next to the kind and caliber of man you want, and then they're competing to see who can get his attention, just like the therapist who said before. No, I don't even think half of our women are competing for the average black man. So if you're competing for the average black man, you're damn sure competing for the best of black men.
Okay.
So safe or not, man, you do what you want to do. But I would tell you this:
well, I would say in regards to the behavior, whether we realize it or not, I'm saying that yes, it is an issue. Yes, I would love for black people to just smile freely at each other. I mean, that's 100%.
No. Black women, not black people. It's not black people. It's not black women. It's black women. It's black people. It's black women.
Yes, black people, black women. I want to see black women walking down the street, comfortable, smiling, happy, joyful, not
And you know,
angry, not
and you know how you,
survival
and you know how
mode.
you fix that?
Excuse me?
You know how you fix that?
How?
With the person in the mirror.
Yes. And that's
That's
why
all you can
I
do.
started this
And
off
the thing
with saying
is, and
I
the thing is,
agree.
the thing is, ma'am, you don't strike me. This is a long conversation about justifying what? A black woman's not wanting to smile because she does not, unless she feels safe. If the barometric
I've been trying
conditions
to
have
veer
to,
off of that point.
the barometric, if the conditions have to be right for black women to just be as friendly as most women are normally, then you get the outcomes you get. Stop complaining about being 1 in 4 of you will be married. Stop complaining that the best of your college educated men go pick non-black women. Stop complaining, because you're not even competing on the bare minimum. We're talking about smiling, being cordial, just simply smiling. Do you realize how ridiculous of a conversation this sounds like to non-black people? I have hundreds of emails about this from non-black people, emails and comments like, Jesus Christ, your women won't even smile at you? Jesus, I mean, and this is a real thing. This is like night 2. And we get more women coming on instead of just saying, damn, I didn't know it was this bad. Wow, how can we fix it? It's, well, let me tell you why we do it. We don't give a French toast why you do it. We don't like it. We don't like it. We don't want it. If you're not going to give the black men what they want, stop asking for black men to give you anything. How about that? Is that fair? I mean, if you can't get what you want, black men can't get what he wants. You both should just leave each other alone, right?
I mean, I don't think so. But I mean, there are certain things that we say women need to compromise on. And I'm not
No,
saying
we're
I
not
don't think
compromising.
that
No,
people
we're
should
not
have to
compromising.
compromise.
Black men are not compromising. Black men are not compromising on human decency. We're not going to compromise on human
No,
decency.
I
Nope, we're not.
understand.
Nope. We're talking about baseline human decency and respect.
Okay, so we just watched a couple clips of Kevin Samuels interviewing a few women. And in the interview, the discussion was whether or not they should be smiling at just men, black men, who asked them to smile. And it seems as if some of the women took issue with the idea that they should smile just to be, kind and friendly towards men. It's a thing that I think I can kind of see both sides of the argument, but I don't think it should be too much to ask someone to smile. I think what Kevin is trying to allude to is that your demeanor and your attitude really kind of curates your environment. So if you're around a group of men, right, it's good to smile and just to show that you have a good and positive attitude. Now, especially for attractive women, I think they have issues where, they think smiling at a man sometimes is an invitation for that man to come talk to them. And what he's saying is, if smiling at a man was not so rare for you, then it wouldn't necessarily be something that's hard for you to do. You smiling at a man does not immediately mean that you're interested in him. You're simply smiling at him to be polite. And the point that Kevin was making is that, I think we owe it to each other to be polite, especially if you share the same complexion of the man. It's a way of you saying to that man, hey, sir, I acknowledge you as someone that shares my reflection. I acknowledge you as someone that, is in this space with me. And that smile may mean the world to somebody. It may literally minister to that person in a way that you don't even know. My pastor always said, your attitude.
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
Your attitude controls your altitude. Your attitude controls your altitude. So smiling is just a kind thing to do. And I think it applies for both sides, right? A man who's mean mugging everybody every time is sending off the message that like he's some tough guy and that his energy is poor. And so everyone should feel defensive around him because he's going around mean mugging everybody. Versus a man who's, in an environment he smiles and he's polite and, he's approachable. I think there's a message that you send when you are approachable, when you're lighthearted, when you smile, and there's a message that you send when you're not. Whether you're a man or a woman. And I think for women it's different. Now, I understand on that side, a woman can't smile at a man, at every man, simply because some men don't know how to take it. But I think there's different types of smile. I think women are able to distinguish from a polite smile to I'm interested in you smile. I don't think that that's something that's hard. And it seems as if this young lady was making it appear as if her smiling at a man is a way of her giving him the green light to come talk to her. Her smiling at his man is a way of being approachable. And I think Kevin made a very valid point. He said, well, look, if you can't smile at a man and something happens when your boyfriend's not there, say you get yourself into a fender bender, and the same people you were mean mugging are the ones you now need to help you. Do you think that that man should take the position that because you didn't think he was worth at least a pleasant, cordial smile, that he should now position himself to help you? Sometimes the wisdom is in the advice. And what he's saying is just always present yourself as a person who's pleasant, approachable, and who makes people feel comfortable to be around you, right? When you're not smiling at somebody, you give them the impression that you're weary of them. You don't necessarily want them around you. And no one likes rejection. No one likes to feel like they don't belong somewhere. So it's a small thing, but in the same way, it's kind of a big thing, right? It's just a people skill that you learn. Smiling is inviting. Eye contact is inviting. These things are things that, makes people feel like you acknowledge them, you see them, not like they're a burden. And I think that was the heart behind what Kevin is saying. I do think in our community, and that's specifically Black people, we have a lot of issues within ourselves where it seems as if we have a hard time getting along. We're always at odds with each other. We're always arguing. And sometimes we need to figure out ways to bridge the gap and to be a bit more pleasant. Now, this isn't a problem that every Black person has. Some people in the community have it more than others. But I do think that there is something to be said about just being more communal, being more pleasant and kind to each other. I think those are good takeaways that we could take from this message today. Be kind, be loving, be human. These are good things to take away, especially in a world where there's a lot of people who are not that way. Again, I understand that ladies, there are some men with bad intentions out there. And there are some men who, can potentially be weirdos. But really and truly, I think a lot of times when you're a pleasant person, you curb a lot of the wrath that may be out there. And there is a way to say to a man to smile. And if a man came and approached you to say, hey, I just wanted to share a smile with you, to encourage you. I am not interested. I'm spoken for. I have a man. I appreciate you coming over and giving me, a compliment or trying to connect. I think it's a kind gesture and I'm flattered by it. But unfortunately, I respect what I have with my boyfriend, and I'm not interested in anything more but to be cordial. And that man will walk away and respect it. Now, there may be some men who push the issue. But this, once they see that you're a polite person, you're good. Most men are not gonna push the issue and be disrespectful to you. You feel what I'm saying? So, but at the same time, that man will remember that you spoke to him like a human being. That man will remember that, that you were kind and loving towards him. It's about just being a decent person. And I don't think it should be too much for anybody to ask for someone to smile. I don't think that that's too much to ask, right? I don't think it's too much to ask anyone to be kind. So that's what I would sort of give as a takeaway from this. The Bible tells us to love God with all our hearts, but also to love our neighbors, right? To give people a reason to see God in your life. And sometimes a smile does that. Sometimes a smile can help heal people because they're just carrying all sorts of baggage with them. So there are some things we could take away by just being more humane and more kind, more friendly to people in general, especially to people that looks like you, that looks like they could have been um, a family member, that looks like what your kids may look like. You know what I'm saying? That looks like what your grandparents may have looked like. Share a smile. It shouldn't be too much to ask. All right. This is my thoughts on tonight's show. We've reviewed a couple of videos that showed a discussion taking place between Kevin Samuels and a couple young ladies, modern day women who are currently dating. And they were just talking about how hard it is for them to smile at men without them thinking that that smile is an invitation for the man to come talk to them. Right? After weighing all these factors and their reasonings for doing it, I think Kevin raised some very, very valid points. And I think there's some takeaways that we can learn from these videos. Um, just to smile and to be kind to each other and not to assume that everyone's out to get you. There's some people who are just in need of a smile. There's some people who, are just, you know, meaning well. Maybe they think you're an attractive woman and they want to talk to you. But even if that's the case, being pleasant helps you navigate around those situations more than being mean or being unapproachable. So, with that said, I thank you all for joining me on this show, and we ask that you like and subscribe and stay connected, as well as join the conversation. Have a good one.